people have got on board your flight when they've been flying with an airline in the past, so they might find that. I mean, you're the lead singer of Iron Maiden. But you were a commercial pilot.
Yeah,
Is it juxtaposition?
I was. Well, I still am. It always makes me laugh when people say, yes, and he's a licensed commercial pilot. Like, there's an unlicensed commercial pilot. But yeah, no, I had a job, because not being John Travolta, I couldn't afford to buy my own airliner. And so I really got quite deeply into flying and loving airplanes and stuff. And I thought, well, how do I get to fly, you know, a big jet? I thought, well, I have to get a job. So I was putting out my CV to people. You know, it didn't say anything about Iron Maiden on it. You know.
Oh, you left that to just one
at
side.
the end, you know. Anyway, I got offered a job with an airline, which sadly was only lasted a few months. But I actually did my training with British Airways. So I was actually flying passengers on British Airways planes in the year 2000.
So just to be clear, so you were doing were you saying this is Captain Dickinson?
Well, I was a captain then, but yeah.
So that you were doing all the announcement, all that stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is, one of the things about being a pilot is you sort of sit in the cabin at the back and you look around and people are going, oh, it's like crosswind, but in charge of the cabin, and everyone's going, what did you say? So nobody pays any attention. And that's why, unfortunately, they all go unconscious when the oxygen masks drop, because they didn't pay attention to the bit that says, pull the mask to start the flow of oxygen.
So did you try and enliven the captain's... You didn't sing. Did you ever sing?
What? On a plane?
Yeah.
No, but I was once doing a Lourdes flight, where we were flying pilgrims to Lourdes and everything. And I was actually in the toilet, and somebody started singing on the PA. And I was actually having the loo, and I went, who's that? Who's singing on my aeroplane, you know? And we were just coming back from Lourdes to Dublin, and I sort of went up to the door, looked out, and there was the vicar, doing Hail Marys and leading sort of like hymn singing on the PA.
Oh. That's quite nice, isn't it?
Well, it was.
Maybe not what you expected.
It's part of the deal. So I looked out and I went, oh, right. And he looked at me and went, oh, yeah. I went, oh, we're protected then, you know. So
you have some amazing stories on planes. I mean, the title of the book is What Does This Button Do?
Yes.
It's taken from probably the most common question someone says when they visit a
cockpit. They walk into a cockpit and there's all these buttons. Actually, most of them are just fuses. They're just circuit breakers. But they look very impressive. And people go, oh, what does that button do then? You know, and hopefully you're supposed to know, but I
really would hope you know.
Yes, yeah. But I just thought, well, it's a great metaphor for my life, because it's just endless childlike curiosity.
You start with this remarkable story of being on a plane asking for Russian airspace.
Oh, with Michael Heseltine on board.
Yes.
When they threatened to shoot us down, yeah.
Go on, you better just explain what are the circumstances you're flying. What's the flight?
Well, we were a charter airline, so the airline I worked for, we had 11 airplanes, and anyway, one day I turned up to work. I'm the first officer, not the skipper. So I'm the first officer. I turn up, there's a 200-seat airliner, 757, going to Murmansk in Russia, which at the time was the headquarters of the Soviet Northern Fleet, you know, as any schoolboy know. And there's like 20 people on it. Michael Heseltine, Max Hastings, various other worthies, and lots of people all called John Smith with like big bulges here, you know, like, you know,
security
close personal security. So we go there, and I said to the guy, I said, why are we going to Murmansk with like no people? And the guy goes, fishing expedition. I went, fishing expedition? What, special fishing? Murmansk goes, yeah. I said, what, very big fish? He went, very big fish, you know. So I went, oh, you know.
Asking too many questions.
Yeah. So have to kill me. So anyway, go off to Murmansk and we circle over the top. They won't let us land and they won't tell us why. And after 2 hours of going round in circles and us getting back to our operation saying, why won't they let us land? Saying, we're talking to the Russian embassy in Moscow via the British embassy, and yes, it's all going to be okay. Then they said, unless you go away, we'll shoot you down. We went, oh, that's clear then. So we dropped them back in Finland. I emptied the bars in 2 bin liners, and they went on this very smoky, rather dodgy-looking coach and headed off towards the Russian border. So I just said, look, here's the contents of the airplane bar. You may need this, you know. Off they went. You know.
you have had a fascinating life, and I'm still, as you're telling that story, I'm sort of looking at that man there, and you know, it's an interesting life you've led.
This button does do wonderful things.
It's a tale worth telling.
I mean, somebody said, you know, what's the book about? And I said, it's actually a celebration of life. It's not a score settling. It's not like trying to be nasty and petty and all that sort of reality sort of nonsense stuff. It's uplifting, you know, life is brilliant.
And also the title, I just love it, because it's the kind of thing I literally ask that question every day about this stuff. I'm just like, what does that one there do?
The thing that you do, please don't touch that.
What's that? No.
Is that the touches the thing? Yeah, no, this is mine.
Lovely to see you this morning, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And good luck with the touring, and great to see your health all back on track, and you're just
I'm
joyful.
You know, yeah, and I'm looking forward to living forever, according to your.
Well, the Super 8. Speak to Tony outside. 82 wants to be still running.
82.
82. Runs 100 metres has done it in less than 15 seconds.
I couldn't do that when I was 15.
Bruce Dickinson's book is called "What Does This Button Do?" Very good. Thank you very much.
All the best. Thank you very much.
We're going to be talking to a couple of the cast.